Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about the EIA types. Okay, so we have the different kind of EIA, like a regional EIA, strategic environmental assessment, sectoral EIA, project level EIA. The first one, strategic environmental assessment. The strategic environmental assessment represent a proactive approach to integrate environmental considerations into the higher level of decision making beyond the project level when major alternatives are still open. Then the regional EIA that integrates environmental concerns into development planning for a geographic region, normally at the sub-country level, facilitates adequate integration of economic development with management of renewable natural resources within the carrying capacity limitation to achieve sustainable development. Then sectoral environmental impact assessment, it helps in addressing specific environmental problems that may be encountered in planning and implementing sectoral development projects. Then project level EIA, it's referred to the developmental activity in isolation and the impact that it exerts on the receiving environment. Thus, it may not effectively integrate the cumulative effects of the development in a region. What are the steps are involved in EIA process? All the four different categories having the same steps like screening, scoping, baseline data, impact identification, prediction, evaluation, mitigation, EIA preparation, review, environment audit. Screening. Screening done to see whether the project need an EIA for clearance or not. Then scoping. Scoping involves determination of the extent of EIA required for the project. From baseline data, it gives a holistic picture of the overall environmental setting of the project location. It's showing any potentially critical environmental changes and information about the site. The following environmental parameters are usually considered while preparing the baseline data: site location and topography, regional demography, regional landmark, geology, hydrology, meteorology, finally ecology. Then baseline data, it will be site location and topography, regional demography, population distribution within 10 and 15-kilometer radius, land use and water use pattern, regional landmarks like historical and cultural heritage in the area. For this, architecturological or state register can be checked. Geology, groundwater and surface water resources are quantified. Water quality, pollution sources, etc. are studied. Hydrology, groundwater and surface water resources are quantified. Water quality, pollution sources, etc. are studied. Meteorology, temperature, extreme, wind speed and direction, dew point, atmospheric stability, rainfall, storms, etc. are recorded. Ecology, the flora and fauna, endangered species, successional stage, etc. are enlisted. Then impact identification, it includes the details of project, characterization and baseline environmental characteristics to ensure the identification of full range of environmental impact. Then various methods employed for impact identification are as follow: checklist, matrix, quantitative methods. Then impact identification through the checklist, there are based on enlightening of specific environmental, social, biological, and economic factors affecting the environment. Checklist can be simple, descriptive, or questionnaires based. Matrix, this is most common type of impact identification method. Here, the impact are arranged in rows and column, that is like a matrix. Then matrix, simple matrix, time depending matrix, magnitude matrix, Laporte matrix. From the simple matrix, we can do the two-dimensional in nature, or environmental components on one axis and developmental action on the other axis. From time depending matrix, time scale of impact is taken. Magnitude matrix, the magnitude of impact is also denoted in the matrix by putting symbols. Leipold matrix consists of a horizontal list of under project actions and a vertical list of 88 environmental components. Magnitude of the impact and importance of the impact are shown on a scale varying from 1 to 10. Then quantitative methods, it compare the relative importance of all impact by weighing, standardizing, and aggregating the impact. The best known method here is Battle Environmental Evaluation System, which consists of environmental, social, and economic parameters. Then fifth one, impact prediction. Here, the magnitude and other dimension of changes associated with the project are identified in comparison with a situation without the project. It involves identification of potential changes in the indicator of various environmental factors. The two important models of impact prediction are mathematical model, mass balance model. The mathematical model, the causes and effect relationships are expressed in the form of a flowchart or mathematical function. Mass balance model, this is usually adopted where physical changes are involved. Here, all inputs are balanced by the outputs. Then impact evaluation. After prediction of the impact, their relative significance is assessed. Methods of evaluation can be qualitative or maybe quantitative to determine magnitude of the impact, temporal and spatial extent of the impact, recovery resilience of the affected environment, and the value of the affected environment. Most important method is cost benefit analysis. Then what is meant by cost benefit analysis? Okay, the same thing like baseline monitoring, cost benefit analysis, all those things we will discuss our unit 2 also. But now we are going to the introduce about the CBA. The cost benefit analysis method takes into consideration a long view of the project and also the side effects. And net social benefit is considered including all cost and benefits. It takes into account all tangible annual benefits and cost in monetary terms. However, it is very difficult to identify the intangible like environmental parameters. The intangible category includes loss of a rare species, urbanization of a beautiful natural landscape, loss of human health, etc. Then seventh one, mitigation. The mitigation done to avoid, reduce, and if possible remedy the significant adverse changes. Various mitigation measures could be as follow: avoidance of impact, reduction of adverse effect, repair or maybe the restoration, compensation for adverse effect. Then avoidance of impact. achieving by control of solid or maybe liquid waste by recycling or removing. Reduction of adverse effect. This is done by using sensitive building design, using color matching with the local environment to reduce visual impact of the project, using silt trap and planting of crop covers, repair or restoration. The agricultural land used for storage of materials during construction may be fully rehabilitated. Land used for gravel extraction may be restored for agricultural use. Any diversion in stream flow during construction by a road project must be re-established. Compensation for adverse effect. If there is loss of a public recreational space or wildlife habitat, then provision must be made for creation of a spot with afforestation or plantation of the type of native plants. If there is a lot of noise produced during the project operation, sound insulation must be done. Then eighth one is the decision analysis. Individual decision or group response are used in order to have minimum bias. Group response is usually taken. Commonly used approach: multi-step questionnaires based Delbin approaches. Then environmental impact statement. It should include the following five major aspects. First one, the environmental impact of the proposed action, the adverse impact that cannot be avoided if the development occurs, alternatives to the proposed action, relation between the local short-term use of human environment and maintenance of long-term production, irreversible changes in resources. Then EIA is to be written in the format provided by the MOEF, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, or CEQ, as per the guidelines. And finally, we have to do the environmental audit. The audit involves comparison of the impact predicted in the EIA with those actually occurring after implementation to assess whether the impact prediction perform satisfactorily. So these are the reference material. Thank you.